It's Vlogtober, day 23, and I have nothing cleverer than that to offer as an intro today. Welcome to the Yarn and Yarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all of the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. It is 4:30 on Vlogtober day 3, filming my fingers again. Woo. As if you didn't have enough of those yesterday. If you watched the little outtakes at the end. I've been out of the house doing my last day in the shop before we go into lockdown here in Wales. So yeah, next 2 weeks is going to be stay at home as much as possible and hope that this fire break, stopgap, whatever they're calling it, lockdown, does the trick and we can start getting back into the swing of things again. It felt like just as we were getting back into a rhythm and into the swing of things, we're back in lockdown again, but that's okay. We need to do what we need to do. So I have no idea what's going on for Vlogtober today. I do have a package that has just arrived. So I thought I might share some yummy yarn with you, because who doesn't like a bit of yummy yarn? Caroline, that little devil that sometimes sits on my shoulder, messaged me to say that she was going to order some yarn. Did I want in, so that we could then get it posted to me, and I'll show you what we got. Right, so Caroline got some stock blanks, Coral Snapdragon colourway, which is a lovely gradient. The light in here is not the best, so I won't fiddle with the Caroline's yarn too much. And then I ordered this skein, which is called Autumn on the Way. Look at the gorgeousness in there, love that. And then there is an Autumn Leaves gradient. That one is lovely. I did also want one of these, but Caroline snagged the last one. And then I was really curious to try out this, which is a bamboo linen sock base in the Harbour Rainbow colourway. I think that will make a nice pair of summer socks, or maybe a nice summery shawl. Haven't decided yet. This label's really cute, isn't it? Rainbow fusions. So yeah, look at all that yummy, yummy yarn. That was nice to come home to after a day in the shop. I've got a little bit more work to do before I can finish the day, but it's the Knit Tea Retreat virtual retreat weekend this weekend, and there is a social evening this evening, so I need to get my work wrapped up and maybe try and come up with something to add to the end of this video, otherwise it's going to be about 30 seconds long. I'm not going to get my work done sat here chatting, am I? So let's get that done, and then we'll see what we have time for after that. Before we get stuck in, time for a community shout out, and I feel like we're getting 4 for the price of 1 today. It's Knit Tea Retreat virtual weekend this weekend, so of course I have to shout out the lovely ladies, the brains behind the Knit Tea Retreat, Zoe and Jenny. And Jenny is all about yarn. She has her own yarn dyeing company. Obviously she is one half of the brains behind the Knit Tea Retreat, and also Cartrev Yarns, beautiful locally produced Welsh yarn, and I'll put all of the links for those below. And the second half of that is our lovely Zoe, who is Pins and Needles UK. Zoe has her channel here on YouTube and is the other half of Cartrev and the Knit Tea Retreat. So I'll put all of their links below, and if by any chance you have not visited either one of them, then please hop over to their shops, hop over to the YouTube channel, give them some Yarn and Yarn community love, and let them know that I've sent you over. Okay, so I have snuck up to my craft room for 5 minutes to try and actually cobble together something that is worthwhile posting. But for today, I thought I'd just pop up and answer one of your questions, because I think this might lead to some nice discussions in the comments below. So the lovely Terry asked, what is my favourite yarn? Do I have a favourite yarn? And that's a really tricky question, isn't it? I was kind of sitting thinking about it, and it's almost like being asked to pick your favourite child, or it is for me. Not that I know what that's like, I don't have kids, but you know what I mean. So I would love to say that I've tried every yarn in the world, but of course I have not. So I can only speak for the yarns that I have tried. And again, I'm going to cheat, which I've kind of cheated on quite a few of these questions, and I've narrowed it down to 2. I've got 2 projects to show you, and one of them actually combines both of these yarns. So by the magic of YouTube, I shall be back in just a second to discuss my first yarn. That was a bit of a extra shimmy there for you, lucky viewers. My first favourite is Rowan Valley Tweed. I've always really enjoyed Rowan yarns, and I think it was because they were my first luxury yarn. Yeah, Rowan was my first kind of luxury, although I know there are many yarns on the market that are much more expensive. I'm kind of equating luxury with expensive, which I know isn't quite right, but you know what I mean. And I knit this jumper, and I think I finished it at the beginning of last year, maybe the end of the year before. I remember working on this in New Zealand when we were travelling in New Zealand, and I've got a really fun picture of me knitting on this outside of Bag End. Loads of weird looks from some of the other tourists that were taking the Hobbiton tour, but knitter's got a knit, right? Valley Tweed was a new yarn a couple of years ago, and it's a 4-ply British sourced 100% wool. And I knit this really simple jumper from the Valley Tweed book that first came out with the yarn. I think it's called the Dern sweater. One of the reasons that I love this is, like, literally I have worn this to death several times a week probably during the colder months, and because it's quite a lightweight sweater, I wear it from like literally now through to June, July time here in the UK. I have not had to de-pill this once, and I'm going to do the thing which some of you might remember me taking the mickey out of one of the Rowan magazines many moons ago back on the channel, because there was a lot of armpit shots. I'm going to show you my armpit. Not literally, but just because that's one of the areas that tends to get a lot of wear. Got a bit of fluff under there, but there is no pilling on this whatsoever, and I promise you I've not de-pilled this at all. Probably the worst thing that's happened to this is I think there's a few food stains on it. But that's standard for my clothes. And also I've got one bit that I do need to repair, but this is my fault. I managed to catch the cuff, and I've got a stitch somewhere here. I don't know how well that will show up. There you go. That's running down. So I'm not sure whether to repair it or whether just to cut the cuff off and re-knit the cuff. But I'm loath to do it because this is my favourite jumper. I don't want to not have it to wear. I'm just wearing it with the cuff folded up a couple of times to kind of try and protect that. Just wear it all the time, and I love it, and it's worn really well. It's light but warm. British yarn. What can you say? So yeah, number 1, Rowan Valley Tweed. By the magic of YouTube, I shall be back with yarn number 2. Not sure what the humming was about with that one. Impromptu dance party. Oh yeah, I've got the moves. Don't be jealous now. It's getting a bit silly. Right. Yarn number 2. Barham U Pip Colour Work. And I feel like it's similar-ish in a way to the Rowan Valley Tweed. British yarn. I guess Closest comparison would be something like Jamieson and Smith Spindrift. But again, a British source yarn from a lovely small British company. And I knit my Midsummer Meadow sweater. Colour work all over. You can't see. I'm not going to adjust the camera. And I finished this last year. Must have been last year. And I actually used a combination of Valley Tweed and the Pip in this. I wanted to emulate somewhat the colours in the original pattern. I used Pip for the brown and the blue, Parkin and Lotherton maybe, but the yellow, at the time the yellow in the Pip wasn't quite as vibrant. I now have a yellow in their range which is very similar to this, so it would have been perfect, but at the time they didn't, so I went with the yellow hammer colourway from the Valley Tweed, and as you can see they've mixed in really nicely together, these two yarns. And again, I've worn this, and not quite so much as the Dern sweater, mainly because it's just a little bit newer than the Dern sweater that I've just shown, but I know I shall wear this loads this winter season. So yeah, please do let me know in the comments below whether you have any favourite yarns and what you like making with them, why you like them. I'm always happy to receive good yarn recommendations. Maybe I'll find some more things that I'd like to try. Thank you so much for a great question, Terry. Now to edit this together. I'm not sure whether I'll get it up until late this evening. We'll see what time I've got to squeeze things in. Perhaps I'll try and edit and cook dinner at the same time. Multitask, we'll see. What could possibly go wrong? What's the worst thing, really, what is the worst thing that could happen? Maybe I'll set my kitchen alight and we'll have a visit from some nice firemen in a nice fire truck. Hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow for Vlogtober day 24, but until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now.